my rumble bun go? Huh, I only left the Rise and Bun Bakery 15 minutes ago, and then all I remember was this big explosion, and then everything went black. It's probably a sign I shouldn't have any more calories for tonight, I think. Anyway, sorry, hi, welcome to the Lower Sky Library in the Sky Academy. And you know what? I am your host, Mr. Gusty Gavin, and I am the librarian here. However, between you and me, I also work part-time at Waterstones Gateshead because the mortgage on my house in Cloud9 is astronomical. And you know what? Librarians do not get paid enough. Anyway, we are here to celebrate the launch of Rainbow Grey by Laura Ellen Anderson, and she has so many fun things planned for you guys today. Just everything and anything that you can think of and exclusive for this event, so you do not want to miss it, because you might never ever see it again. Anyway, are you ready for your knickers to get well and truly blown off? And if you are, then leave as many comments and questions in the chat, because we would absolutely love to see what you guys want to say and ask Laura, and we will get to them. Anyway, please give a huge weatherling welcome to the one, the only Laura Ellen Anderson. Woo!
Welcome everyone. Thank you so much, Gusty Gav. I can't believe I'm actually speaking to the real life Gusty Gav, surrounded by all of the books of your, I keep saying Lower Limb Library and mixing up Amelia Fang and Rainbow Grey naturally, but it is the Lower Sky Library all the way up in Sky Academy in the sky. So lovely to have you all here on this very sunny and slightly cloudy actually afternoon. I hope you've been seeing lots of cloud creatures up in the sky flying around. If you do see any and spot any, take pictures and send to the social media channels afterwards. That would be amazing. But yes, we're going to be having lots of fun, aren't we, today, Gusty Gav?
I cannot wait. It is such an honor to meet my creator as well. Like, this is just, it blows my mind.
I am your lord.
You are my lord.
But no, we've got, so, and I've got a little surprise as well later on for Gusty Gavin as well, and a little surprise for you. But I've got lots of surprises for you because I'm going to be sharing all of the behind the scenes of how I created the new book Rainbow Grey. And I'm going to hold up two versions here because we do technically have two versions. So we have a red sprayed edge and we have a rainbow sprayed edge, which you can buy from Waterstones only. And that's incredibly exciting because it's like reading a rainbow all the time. So I'm not going to babble on too much at the beginning because I've got so much to be babbling on. And so I thought I would do a little introduction after Gusty Gav's most wonderful, and you're using your wind horn to blow off all the books off the shelf, I can see.
They don't call me Gusty Gavin for nothing. Exactly. They just fly off the shelves now, Laura. Everybody wants to read it.
You're far too good at your weather magic, that's why. But anyway, I'm going to now share my screen with you. You'll still be able to see us and you can still submit your comments and say hello.
So many people.
I have a special little presentation for you. So let me play from the start. Here we go. Okay, so can someone confirm in the chat if you can see that okay? Is all good?
It looks good to me, but I would, yes, lots of people are saying yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so as you can see, a few pictures. These were just taken last week, actually.
Wow, you grow fast.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown quite a lot since then, but I had quite the collection of sunglasses, as you can see, and any sun weatherling would adore sunglasses. So yeah, a little bit about me. I absolutely love Lindt chocolate, a little bit obsessed. I had a 1 kilogram Lindt bunny who is now in pieces in the cupboard, sorry. I met Gaston and got his autograph. Gav, have you met Gaston?
No, I have not the Gaston, the Gaston.
The Gaston. The wow. Gaston at Gaston's Tavern in Disney.
We have so much in common as well. We're just, you know, incredible characters, and you know, they say side characters, but I don't believe them. Me and Gaston. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I can tell you, Gaston or Gavin, he was very, very strong, and he threw his pencil as well, and was quite intimidating, as says the song. I saw the Aurora Borealis, and I can tell you now that the Aurora Borealis is going to, in fact, appear in the next rainbow book. So that's a secret. Whoever's watching, you can't tell anyone. There's so many secrets. So I want you to put into the chat that you promise not to tell anyone the secrets that you hear in today's event.
This is between us. Yes. Just between us.
With a skyberry on top. So I do indeed have one baby tooth, which is right here, the little canine. I love peanut butter on toast. I'm growing an oak tree just out there. And I can't actually see the other bit of my screen. What did I write? Oh, yeah. I would love a pet tortoise or a pet pig. I'd really like a pet pig, but I don't want to keep a pet as a pig. A pig as a pet. A pet as a pig. As you can see, I'm very excited. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to move on. And
so many people are promising not to reveal any of your secrets.
That's great. That's fantastic. I trust you all. I do trust you all. So now I'm going to tell you a bit about my favorite films and TV inspiration, and particularly what inspired me when I was writing Rainbow Grey. But I've added, you may notice, a few little Amelia Fang inspirations in there. And I know, Gav, one of these is your alter ego's favorite. So Mr. Gavin.
Absolutely. I mean, so many of them, but especially Hocus Pocus. I mean, what a film. What a film.
Winifred, come on.
Yes, and the musical number, which, you know, another exclusive. Laura is going to write a musical number for Gusty Gav in the future. I mean,
we'll get to that one. We will see. Gusty Gav the musical with an exclamation mark. So everyone, get your tickets ready for that one. So yes, we have got so many exciting films and TV, which, you know, I adored. The Umbrella Academy and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That's weather in a slightly different sense. The Powerpuff Girls and The Incredibles, Pixar, The Avengers. And what I love about The Avengers in particular is that every single kind of superhero had a lot of layers and depth, and they had weaknesses as well. And I think that's really important with a character. I think it's really important that they're not just like, I don't know, almost Superman, where they are just literally great at everything. I think it's important for a character to be relatable. And so I really wanted to do that when I was creating Ray Gray. And these are a few of my biggest inspirational characters here. Now, I'm not going to mention the name of one show in particular, but some of you may love Moira Rose. We've got good old Legend of Korra, Agatha. I adored her from WandaVision, which is a kind of spin-off from the Avengers.
What an icon.
She's brilliant. I love that, like, yeah, it was me. And she's a big, and I love a good villain. I absolutely love a villain, and I love a villain with layers. If anyone has got Disney Plus, there's a fantastic program called Inside Pixar, which has got a whole little mini documentary about a good villain, and they're really handy if you're writing and illustrating.
There's so much love for Mildred Hubble in the chat, though. Everyone loves Mildred Hubble.
I wanted to be Mildred Hubble, and I love the fact that she isn't very good at her spells or her magic. She has to try a bit harder than everyone else. And again, that was something that inspired me. This is not an Amelia Fang event, guys. Inspired me when I was writing and developing Ray Gray's character, because, you know, I always think with superheroes and magic, again, the weaknesses and the flaws. And Ray, it's no secret, she has no magic at the beginning of the book, and it is no secret that she has magic by the end, you know. But I kind of won't reveal too much how that happens and what goes on during that and what the rainbow weather magic involves. But she does have to try harder. She finds it a little bit harder to read than others. It takes her a bit longer, but she never gives up. That is the biggest strength of Ray Gray, and something that's very important in the story is the fact that she never, ever gives up. And I think that echoed my journey writing the book. Now, Gusty Gav knows a lot about my journey. It took me a very, very long time to write the book that I wanted to write and get out to you and actually hold in my hand. I didn't think this day would come. There was one point where I was like, I'm never going to have a book back. But it feels so special now that it's here, because I put 1,000,000 windillion% into this book, and I really hope that you like it too. So how did it all begin? Let's see. Let's rewind 10 years earlier. I started coming up with these kind of weather characters here. So as you can see, you've got a wind friend there, Gusty Gav.
Yes, my icon.
Exactly, and the style is a little bit different. So I was very, very inspired at the time by the works of Cartoon Saloon, heavily inspired, as you may see here. So that they did wonderful films based on Irish folk tales, Song of the Sea and the Book of Kells. Absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. And I've always been very, very interested in animation. And there was a point where I wanted to work in animation, but then I decided actually I'd rather go into the animation route through my own stories rather than working on other stories. So yeah, I had these Weatherland characters. They were just concepts at the time, and I just posted them on my blog when I was 10 years younger and fresher than I am now. And I love to kind of personify in weather as well. So cute faces. So we've got almost nymph appearing here. And then this kind of like mist character in the middle, who I think was kind of this idea of the villain of the kind of story. And I created the beginnings of Rainbow Grey here. So
She looks so cute.
she's
Tiny.
a picture book character. So I mean, I think at the time I imagined her being in a picture book. But Nim, he hasn't really changed. The cloud. I always had the idea of this girl with rainbow. Have you seen my rainbow hair?
Oh yeah.
I've got my locks in here. I wish I could say they were real. But I always had the idea of this girl with rainbow colored hair and a pet cloud cat. Basically, I love cats and I love clouds.
You and me both. You and me both. Cats are the best animals in the world. Period.
Who's got a cat? Tell us in the chat.
Yes,
Right.
let us know. And let us know their names too, because I love names. Like Nimothy is such a great name for name. And I mean, I have a cat called Suki. And what does everybody else have?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, Nimothy, you'd think would be short for Nimbus, but it's not. It's short.
No, no. Never get that wrong. Never get it wrong.
Exactly. Never get that wrong.
Oh, Bluebell, Flo, Jingles. Jingles is such a cool one. Midge and Swift. Tang. Oh, Tango. Oh,
Tango,
like
that's lovely.
A lot of food-based names as well. Are people wanting to eat their pets? Because if I named my cat Muffin or something, I would want to eat it all the time.
I don't recommend eating your pets, guys.
No.
Muffin sounds fun. I knew a massive fat brown Labrador called Muffin.
You didn't try to eat it, right?
I just remember seeing Muffin running through the snow, like bounding towards, like, is that a Muffin? It's huge. So let's go forward 10 years again. And I remember, I think it was a Saturday morning, and I just started, I got an iPad, which I love to use Procreate on. And it's a lovely drawing program, which a lot of illustrators use. And I was kind of experimenting, and I drew the rainbow-haired girl again. She kind of came, and this was at the point where I knew I'd kind of be rounding up Amelia Fang. For now, don't panic, guys. You never say never. I've still got lots of Amelia Fang in here. And I drew this girl, and my editor at the time, lovely Ali Dougal, said to me, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, she's a rainbow girl," and kind of told her the idea of the weather people in the weather world. And she's like, "Let's talk some more." And so I decided to start developing the character and the world, and then we kind of got to the Rainbow Grey. You see, she's looking a lot older than the very first sketch, and hopefully looks approachable. I think that's
definitely. The rainbow is very prominent. You must really love rainbows.
I love rainbows. I can't help but, like, whenever there's a rainbow appearing in the sky, I just get so excited. And anything that's got, you know, rainbows on it, they're just such a symbol of happiness and hope and love. And, you know, they're a symbol for so many people in so many ways. And I just think, yeah, rainbows. So I wanted to make the rainbow extra special in this story. And so I wanted to kind of think a little bit out of the box when creating the weather magic. So I'm going to introduce you to a few little characters in this story without giving any too many spoilers as well. So some of you may have read the book already if you've received it early, or be reading it, so you know who Ray Cray is, obviously, and she's got her short grey hair here. Again, she never wants to give up. And then she's got her best friends, Droplet, Dewbells, and Snowden Everfreeze. I'd love to know in the chat who you would love to be best friends with out of these characters.
I know a few people have said that they've read and loved Rainbow Grey, of course, but I know for a fact Droplet is a little mischief maker. coming into the library every now and then, causing trouble. Can't keep quiet, but
Squashing
it's
your
fine.
books.
But you know what? It's fine. It keeps me busy. Keeps me busy.
Exactly. I mean, you've got to keep the books clear because you can just wipe, keep them dry with the wind tool.
Yeah,
Done.
I pretty much do that. Even after using the toilet too, I can just dry my hands as if I had an air dryer.
Exactly. I mean,
Very handy.
wind magic is amazing, and I'd love to know
Yes.
what kind of weather magic you guys would love. I'll explain a little bit more about the weather magic as well, and then you can kind of say, oh, I think I'd quite like to have that kind of magic. I know what kind I would like, which I'll share with you in a mo.
The correct answer is wind magic, of course.
Just say that for Gusty Gav. Agatha did it. So we've got the mischievous droplet dewbells and Snowdon Everfreeze. And again, I wanted to create characters who were a bit different to the Amelia Fang trio. Also, I love, or should I say, what did you call it for? Quad. There we go. So we've got Florence, the lovely big, kind of bolshy Florence. She's kind of more like Droplet, and then Snowdon's kind of, I guess, a mixture of Grimaldi and Amelia, really. Amelia always, got homework done on time. Snowdon kind of goes above and beyond that. His attendance, a little snippet from book 2, his attendance is in fact, I think 122% or something. He said
wow.
that 20% is very important. Yeah, see,
it is.
That's in his head. And Snowdon, when he thinks a lot or is working something out, snowflakes pour out from his ears, and he calls them his think flakes, which is a little bit gross. And Ray and Droplet find that a bit gross, but that's what they are. But then we have good old Nim, short for Nimothy. He's not connected by Ray by magic. So every cloud weatherling does have a cloud companion, but he was found alone in the forest of Fahrenheit because he has a rare glitch. So he explodes without warning, and then he often rearranges himself in all different strange, weird and wonderful ways. And that meant he couldn't be used as a cloud in the sky because he was a bit unreliable. I mean, imagine looking at the sky and then you just go, oh, what's happening?
Exactly. Yeah. Scary things. Well, it's the same with the rumble buns. I mean, I must have got a bad batch because mine just exploded, and nobody just wants a randomly exploding thing. Well, apart from Ray, of course.
I made a bad batch. Did you eat them in time?
I did not know.
You only have about 10 seconds until the rumble bun explodes, and then all of the syrup inside goes everywhere. So if you do buy a rumble bun from the Rising Bun Bakery guys in the city of Celestia, remember you have to eat it very, very fast.
Shove it straight in your mouth.
Go making some. I'd love to see some blue rumble buns. I can't bake very well, as in I can make things taste good, but they look awful. They're more like poo buns from Amelia Fang or something. So yeah, I'd love to see some rumble buns. But so yeah, I've told you a bit about the characters. LeBlaze, she's super cool. She's a brilliant Earth explorer with a sidekick Kulala. And then we have Hayes and Claudia Gray. And I'm not going to say too much about why Hayes has the flip-flop on his ear. He's a warrior, so he fights rogues. And rogues are naughty weatherlings who do not use weather instruments when they are creating weather. And then Claudia is an award-winning cloud architect.
Well, everyone is saying that Nim is their favorite, and people want Nim as their pet too.
Glad. Although, I mean, this guy. So here we have Gusty Gav. And I thought that myself and Gusty Gav could do a little reading from Gusty Gav's scene in the book.
The most important scene, if you ask me.
Exactly. And if you think about it, really, without Gusty Gav, the whole story wouldn't have gone ahead.
Exactly. So, I mean, obviously, Laura planned that from the very, very beginning.
10 years ago, in fact.
10 years. Yes. And Rainbow Grey is an anagram for Gusty Gavin. So all of the details are there.
It was meant to be, obviously. So I think you're going to completely be the star of the show here. So I'm going to start from halfway through one of the chapters. Can't remember which chapter exactly, but she is in the Lower Sky Library for the afternoon because Ray doesn't have weather magic and everyone else is learning their individual weather skills. So she goes to the library, looks through books, but she's just learned about this mysterious magic that hasn't been seen for over 1,000 years, called rainbow weather magic, and she wants to learn more about it, as you would with something quite mysterious. So I'm going to start from page 39 on my thing, but it might be a slightly different page in your book. So, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, sang the Sky Academy wind chime, marking the end of the school day. Ray hadn't realised she spent so long looking at the book. She simply had to take it home. So sorry, I should have added she'd found an amazing book, which is a bit tattered, but it looks like it's about rainbows. She picked out another 2 books about her favourite Earth explorer, A Delightful Distance and Shiny Things I Found by LeBlay's Delight, and skipped over to the librarian, Mr. Gusty Gavin, who had his nose buried in a book called Why My Raindrops Turned Green by Dr. Humidity.
Riveting read. Hello, Ray, said Gavin. What book has tickled your temperature today?
Ray slid the books onto the large wooden desk. Just these 3, please.
Haven't you already read these books by LeBlaze over 50 times? Asked Gavin with a chuckle.
Over 100 times, actually, said Ray with a big smile. I just love her so much. I'm going to be an Earth explorer just like LeBlaze when I grow up.
Well, I'm sure you'll achieve your dream, said Gav.
He tickled Nim under the chin, making the cloud cat roll over happily, leaving his head behind. Gavin picked up the Magic of Rainbows book next.
Billowing breezes, this is an ancient one. I don't think it's been borrowed for quite some time. It's falling apart, he said, wiping the dust off the cover with his sleeve. Rainbows, eh? I've heard of those. A bizarre form of weather magic, aren't they?
Ray nodded. Bizarre, but beautiful, she said. Gavin looked around and pushed the pile of books towards Ray.
I tell you what, he whispered. Why don't you just keep them? You're the only one who ever reads LeBlaze's adventures, and nobody will miss the Rainbow book. It's definitely seen better days.
Really? Asked Ray.
Of course.
Thank you so much, said Ray. It must be my lucky day. I got a free rumble bun from the Rising Bun Bakery this morning too.
That is lucky, said the librarian. And I bet you're excited to see your first eclipse tonight to top it all off.
Oh yes, said Ray. It'll be the first time I've seen the Weatherlands get dark. I'm trying to imagine what it will be like when the big sunflower gets covered by the moon cheese. Probably a bit like this.
You're in for a treat, young Ray. I've seen a couple of these eclipses. The last one was just before you were born.
What's it like?
Well, these beautiful twinkly specks called stars fill the whole sky. Then you'll see the great Moon King with his large plate of big round cheese. He dances around using the big cheese wheel to cover up the old sunflower while the sun keepers prepare a new one to glow for the next 11 years.
Ray wriggled in excitement. Today was turning out to be the best day ever. So thank you so much, Gusty Gav. That was wonderful.
I will accept all of the Academy Award nominations.
I just want to thank my mum and dad. And yeah, any film people watching, you know, Gusty Gav there. Yeah. And I thought I would show you, whilst you're here, the moon cheese kind of sketch. This was one of the very first sketches of the king with his moon cheese. And it was just that funny idea, you know, of the kind of the moon being cheese idea, and I thought I'm going to actually make it that. And also with the eclipse every 11 years, there's a reason why it's 11, and that's because basically the solar cycle of the real sun, which is actually a big sunflower, it's every 11, it reaches solar minimum and maximum every 11 years. So I thought, you know, just adding little kind of hints of real life science, but this book totally isn't science, which is very funny because I saw, I don't know if it still is, but it was like Rainbow Grey was #1 on Amazon for like popular science culture or something. I was like, I hope you're not studying your science based on this book. But anyway, because there is weather magic basically, and because this is real, it is real. So this is how the weather magic worked and what I was inspired. I didn't want the magic to just be pow, 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 blasting wind and everything out of your fingers. I wanted to do something a little bit different. And so I was kind of thinking of ways they could channel their magic, like a wizard channels magic through a wand, for example. And so I had the idea that sun magic the sun magic actually took me the longest to kind of figure out, but I thought of sunflowers naturally, and I imagine this big glowing flower. And sun weather magic is actually usually kept within the sun families, so that's kind of a little bit rarer, a little bit more closed. and every kind of sun weatherling grows up to eventually become a sun keeper, which is a really big job. And there are kind of about 5 sun keepers who all use their magic and through the sunflower and make the massive sunflower in the sky glow, giving Earth its light. And that obviously means the weatherlands never get dark. It's home to the sun. And then we have wind magic, like Gusty Gav, which is always via a wind instrument of sorts, whether it be a flute, a horn, a trumpet. So if you would like wind magic, just imagine the kinds of things you could use to channel that magic. Rain magic, I was inspired by rhythmic gymnastics, in fact, where they use the ribbons to create beautiful kind of dances and shows. And I thought, oh, imagine you had a cape, and the cape would stretch across the sky, creating this kind of grey layer of what you think are rain clouds, when in fact it is their beautiful ethereal capes, and that is how they create the rain. But in this case, Droplet uses her magic to puddle port everywhere. So she creates a puddle, jumps into it, and then she can appear anywhere she likes. I would love to be able to do that.
Very handy, especially how rainy it is on Earth. You know, I mean, I've not been down there myself, but just seeing how rainy it is, that must come in handy so much.
Exactly. The rain weatherlings have been loving it. And actually the most recent weather, not today, the rainy weather has related a lot to something that's going to happen in my next book as well. So snow magic, that was really fun to develop. Each weatherling wears beautiful embroidered gloves, and in order to create their snow spells, they have to draw a particular snowflake, and every snowflake looks different. So like every snowflake is different, and every single different snowflake symbol creates a different spell. And then cloud magic is via kind of shepherd's kind of style crooks to guide their cloud companions who they're kind of connected to. And then thunder and lightning magic, they always come as a pair. So you've got Frazzle and Thump here, who are a bit of a pair. Not all thunder and lightning siblings talk in rhyme. These guys do, and they are incredibly annoying, and they are the meanest kids in school.
Yes, and they also cause havoc in the library.
Yes, I bet they do, like sizzle in the pages. I've seen a few holes in the pages, and I know that is definitely Frazzle's handiwork.
Oh, 100%.
But I mean, it's nothing compared to rainbow weather magic, which, you know, we're learning more about, and we're going to learn even more about in book 2. But for Ray in particular, she has a lot to learn, because she's gone from no magic to this magic. And I was inspired by the idea of Iris from Greek mythology, and she carries this lovely, beautiful staff with the circle and the wings on top. And I kind of combined that design with the design next to it on the Greek bars with the 2 circles, so to create Ray's staff. And I had so much fun writing the museum scenes in book 1, where she goes to hunt for her staff. And here you can see it in all its action there, which I'm going to not dwell on too much, because I don't want to give anything away. So gosh, these are some very early sketches, guys. So you are seeing stuff that's never been seen before. So this was when you can see there's a sneaky other character here, but Snowdon was always in the mix. And Ray, the style here is a little bit different, but each weatherling did kind of have a separate kind of island to live on, but they're all mixed as well. They can live wherever they want. But you've got the Florrie Mountains, and I think that's the Valley of Winds there. And then I was going to have kind of countryside. They were going to originally be just cloud sheep, not all different cloud creatures. So this is when they were just sheep. And so here you can see a few of them getting all mixed together there. And see, as you can see, I almost illustrated a whole other book before I actually illustrated this one. This was the rainy village, inspired by the likes of Venice. And all of the houses here will be on stilts, because it's just covered in water.
See, if I was around there, my wind, I think, would probably make all of those houses fall into the water. So it's probably best I don't go on vacation. Yeah. Best I don't go on vacation there. No thanks.
And that's why probably some of the weathers should be staying in their separate places. But you can visit. They just give them a bit of warning before you visit, of course. They can put up the extra stilts. The sun weather magic, originally there'd been an island where they were just full of the sunflowers. I think there is, if I remember rightly, up in the map at the front of the book, yes, we have the sunflower fields. So we still have an area where all of the sunflowers are grown, because it's important to keep growing. Because every 11 years we use a new one. So the sun is basically replenished whilst there's an eclipse going on. And then we have the cracking caves. So you need somewhere that's a bit soundproof for the thunder and lightning, obviously. This was the kind of the look of, it was originally all called Celestia. So there was the big kind of citadel, home of the four castle, or I think that might have been Sky Academy originally in the middle, with the different dorms around the outside. So it had been kind of more of a Cackles Academy-esque type place where the kids stay. But for many reasons, I did a lot of development, and things changed, and I decided to go with the Sky Academy you see today. So as you can see here, the rainbows are visible. So rainbow weather magic was not kind of a secret, and there was a big kind of everlasting rainbow that surrounded the academy. So
yeah, you can see how it connects everything as well. Would you say that's the hardest part of writing this book, was that the world? Was that the hardest part, creating all of this?
Do you know what? It was a mixture of things. It was the world, and I think also when I started writing it, I was trying to write how I thought I should be writing. And this is so important if you're writing a book, just stick with what you love and be yourself. Because again, I thought, oh, you know, I need to write in this particular style, blah, blah, blah. And I just had to like step away from it all and then think about what I enjoyed about Amelia Fang and why I loved writing that, and inject all of that into Rainbow. And once I did that and kind of reimagined the characters, and made Ray someone I liked, because there's one draft that I call the depressing draft, which is basically, it was my second version of the book, and it was so downbeat. And I think it was kind of a reflection of how I was feeling at the time. And looking back now, I was like, goodness gracious me, that's it was almost I needed to get it out in order to kind of get over that hump and move on. But you know, I know every writer's gone through it at one stage in their career. And I think I got to know Amelia and her world so well that starting a new world, I suddenly got a little bit of cold feet. And I thought, what if I can't do this as well? And I just forgot to kind of just have fun with it, basically. But yeah, I think the like you say, the connecting with the rainbows is such an important part of the story now as well. And the whole point of Rainbow Weather Magic is that kind of bringing everything together and bringing the earth and skies together. But that's how it is now, and obviously this is very important because Ray's journey at the beginning of the book as well. So I've written her journey through as she's traveling to school, and thought, well, I kind of need that to work in the map as well. So she's passing certain areas, and so making it all work. So the illustration and the text together, you know, they are one thing basically. So I'll quickly go, because I realise I've been talking for a long time. This is some of my inspiration from My Little Pony, in fact, when I was designing Sky Academy. So I was looking at kind of the buildings in Equestria and kind of getting ideas for the colours and the vibes. And these are some of my early sketches of Sky Academy. And I knew that I kind of wanted it to be integrated with trees, and trees play a big part in this story too. So here are some of the early sketches here, and then this is the final. So I kind of mixed kind of that observatory feel mixed with a castle, mixed with like scientific equipment and trees. So just trying to kind of combine everything to give it that almost fantastical look, but still kind of give the idea of looking a bit like this fantastical school.
It's a great place to work too. I mean, I don't get paid enough as a librarian, but it is just a beautiful building with so much rich history. And I just love walking through the halls. You really get the sense of nature. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And your hours are long, so you must know the school in and out.
I do. And I mean, when I was younger, a bit younger, I would love just going with my friends and going through some hidden corridors and behind hidden bookcases. There's so much to discover in the Sky Academy that I feel like we just scratching the surface in Rainbow Grey.
Exactly, and the open day soon. So if anyone wants to go and check out Sky Academy, I mean, you know, get in touch with the Council of Forecasters. I'm sure they can help. So Gav, we have a little surprise for you. I've got you some quick fire questions. So you have to answer as fast and as honest as you can. I don't know if it's a surprise or more torture.
Well, actually, a surprise, because, you know, I love attention. So, yeah.
Exactly. So we're going to go over it. So, okay. So what would you prefer to have for breakfast? A pitter-patter pancake or rumble bun?
Rumble bun. But I would eat it on time this time.
Yes. Who would you prefer to be best friends with, Droplet or Florence Budwick?
Oh no. Oh no. Drop it so that it can, get me through all of the incredible puddles and take me places.
That's good. That's good. Good. Who would you prefer your book mum to be, Claudia Gray or Countess Rivolita?
You know what? I have a huge soft spot for Countess Rivolita. I really do. I look up to her. She's fantastic.
Countess Rivolita. Okay, I'm so sorry. Who do you prefer to be your sidekick, Nim or Squashy?
Oh no. Can I say Squim? Like, that is so tough. But oh no, I'll have to say, no, I can't. I'm saying Squim. I can't say it. I'm saying Squim.
Who would you prefer to get advice from, Snowden, Everfreeze, or Woo?
Oh, Snowden, I think.
Feel free to answer these in the chat as well.
Oh yes, so many people have. I'll have to go through them.
Okay, I think I maybe know this one. Where would you prefer to live, Cloud9 or the Fang Mansion?
Fang Mansion, because I'd love to go through all the different doors and end up in loads of different places.
Oh, yeah.
I would.
Combining that with the puddle porting.
Yes. Yes. It would be the best.
And one more, which is, what would Gusty Gav's theme tune be? This is me getting you back for that one. You asked me.
Oh no. It would be Gusty Gav all along.
Love it.
Or
love it.
I put a clown on you, and now you're mine. That one is
okay. Everyone needs to just give Gav a massive clap wherever you are. That was fantastic. Well done. Great.
Thank you. Gosh.
Well done. I've had that surprise planned.
It was fantastic. And actually, I see a lot of people saying Fang Mansion. A lot of people love Fang Mansion.
Yeah.
So, like, with Fang Mansion and coming into Rainbow Grey, what is your favorite location that you have ever created, Laura?
Ooh. You know what? I have a soft spot for Nocturnia because it's Halloween and I love autumn and pumpkins, but I've had so much fun creating the Weatherlands as well. That's a really hard question. I see I'm getting a dose of my own medicine here. That is a very hard question. But you know what? Because I'm in it, I'm having so much fun because I'm kind of learning more about the Weatherlands as I write book 2 at the moment as well. So I'm going to go to the next bit because I realise I'm running out of time, and go to the book cover and very fast go through this, because basically this is what inspired me when I was creating the book cover for Rainbow Grey, and I wanted to do something really like pow. So I was looking at kind of colour themes from, again, My Little Pony, Steven Universe, Powerpuff Girls, and Hilda. I didn't want to create garish colours, so it's really hard when we have a rainbow, it's every colour. So there's nothing like a limited colour palette with a rainbow. So, but I kind of used a pink hue over the top, which the brilliant Jamie Littler gave me some advice actually when I was kind of creating colours. And he was like, if you create like a pink or purple hue over and then overlay it kind of, everything doesn't look as like, I don't know, it changes a bit. And I don't sound like an artist right now at all. I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
You don't know any of the technical terms. It's fine.
So thank you to Jamie for that advice. But here's a very rough sketches, and it was going to originally be called Rainbow Grey and the Weather Magic, but we took away Weather Magic to kind of just make it like Rainbow Grey. It's more than just about weather magic, there's more to it. So very rough. It's always had the idea of the rainbow going over. As you can see, there's a few different characters in here, and will be kind of introduced. There's a good old Klaus, and Snowden was always there. And then, as you can see, it started to progress. There's Rainarella, who never quite made it. And then we had good old Droplet and the cover we see today. So as you can see, it kind of changed. She had all the weather at one point, and it kept changing around until we got to the finished cover here.
Her eyes changed so dramatically as well.
Yes, so it's definitely way more like the Amelia style now, and with her eyes are important too, because they're different colored eyes, which is very kind of iconic of the rainbow Weatherlin as well. So yeah, we got there in the end. So I'll quickly show you some original, like really old sketches here. These are I've got so many sketchbooks, and you really one of the first ever drafts. You can see at the time, kind of top right, we've got a spectrum, kind of the idea of the spectrum coming through the glass oh God, Prism, that's the one. I was like, Mom, I think you went to school. And this girl was kind of in the classroom, and her power was kind of activated when they did the kind of Prism experiment in science class. Kind of sparked her power. And also there was this idea of Klaus and Ray and Snowden working together to figure things out. Apparently, I don't know what they were figuring out now. And then we've got each of them had their own kind of weather pet as well. So Droplet had like a kind of raindrop, and Snowden had a snow cow with half moon glasses.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then this was like when Ray was going to be in a rainbow ceremony. She was all dressed, she's like, I look ridiculous kind of thing. She's never been one for dressing up, you know. So, and I have to say, I love a character with a waistcoat, so that's why you've got one on.
Ooh la la, or should I say cool la la?
Ooh la la.
Cool la la.
So we've got our kind of lost characters here. These kind of secretive people who a bit like the what's the character's name in Umbrella Academy? There was the woman who kind of like makes sure the timelines are all kind of running smoothly, and you had Hazel and Cha-Cha, and so I was kind of inspired by those at one point with these characters that would check whether it was all running smoothly, but that, you know, didn't go ahead. We had some really early sketches here. An early sketch of a villain, and we had Sun Queen Dawn before I kind of kept to just general Sunkeepers, Gastello, Windbreaker. I think that's a relation of yours, isn't it?
It sounds like it, yeah. Yeah, sounds like it. But
75th cousin, 50 times removed or something.
I've got so many people in my family. It's hard to keep up.
Exactly. You're probably relatable on you and Rainarella Drip. And again, she was a character who kind of started off a little bit moody and but again didn't make the cut. And then with good old Klaus, he was a human character. Klaus Toenail. I don't ask why.
I really want to.
Yeah, he kind of mushed into kind of the Snowden character as well. And then we had Flair Delight, who was originally the Blaze's daughter. But she's not in it anymore. So as you can see, this is how much they changed kind of throughout. And then Snowden, as you can see, he kind of morphed with Klaus to create the lovely Snowden we see today. And even Claudia changed a bit. So here she's painting a picture. And I remember that scene. She was like, what do you think? And Ray's like, oh, what is it? And we never find out what she's actually painted. Just everyone reacts really like, oh my gosh. But that kind of made her more of like a kind of hands-on. She builds things and she's really great at building. And then we have the finished kind of characters here. So I thought we could all draw together after all of that chatting away. So what I'm going to do, Gavi's going to distract you for a second whilst I move my camera because my tech is a bit wibbly.
Well, I wanted to tell everybody what happened when I last encountered the Nickonado. So it was a very, very dark day, very, very windy, which I wasn't my fault. But anyway, a Nickonado just came out of nowhere, and I ended up having a wedgie at the back and the front for days.
Oh my!
I know. So fortunately, that all sorted itself out. But I would not recommend a Nickonado.
Okay, thank goodness, thank goodness. And I hope that your knickers were okay.
Oh yes.
That's so good. Okay, yes. So are you ready for some drawing, Gusty Gavin? Everyone, fetch your paper and your pens and pencils, and we are going to be drawing Nimothy together, but with a twist. Okay.
Okay.
So let's start off with drawing a general kind of bean shape, like so. So I'm just going to check. Can you see my pencil line? All right.
Yes, I can see it. And
okay.
Can everyone else in the chat see it as well? And then.
Sometimes I have problems with not quite showing up. Sometimes I not focus a little bit. I apologize for that. Working with what we've got. So if you can all see the bean, great.
There's a few people who can, a few people who can't, but I think, yeah, it's 50-50.
I'll do that.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant.
Let's see, tell you what, I'll lean on my books. Here we are, make it a little bit higher. There we are. Okay, I'll lift it up every now and then. So we've got a general bean shape, and then add some little triangular ears on top, like so. And then what we're going to do is just add the 4 beans at the bottom, just very roughly. These are where his paws are going to be, but do not add the tail. Okay. So now we have our general nim shape. You can get your pen because we're going to do the darker line now. Wow, Gusty Gav, that looks amazing.
I have to. I started with pen because I'm a rebel.
That's fine. That's good. I encourage you. If you want to start with pen, that's absolutely fine. There is nothing wrong with it. There's no mistakes in art. Okay. So let's go over the outline like so. This is the part where you can make him poofy and cloudy. Yeah. So you know the poofy, and then you can rub out your pencil lines after. So we're going to go over that first leg because that leg's going to be at the back. Like so. So we can give him the sense of looking 3D. Okay, so we do the other paw like that. And then his belly, which is often full of Ray's leftovers. And then we'll do the front back leg and then the other back leg, like so. And then add lots of poofs. I'm going to lift that up so you can see. Just give you.
Oh, yes. Is there any chance of stopping the PowerPoint at this? Will that help people
say? Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. That's completely.
Oh, there.
Goodness
there we go. Now we can see it.
I got overexcited, didn't I? There we are. Thank you, Gav. What would I do without you? Right, I'm going to leave that there for a moment. Okay, so we've got our nim. Is everyone okay now that I've sort? Is no one's panicking? Are we?
Everyone's loving nim. Everyone is loving it.
Good. Yeah. Okay, great. Here we go. Lovely. All right. Fantastic. Sorry about that, guys. Please forgive me. There we are. And then we're going to add these little dot eyes at the top. There we go. And then a little W shape for the mouth. Super cute. There we go. And then, of course, the little whiskers. They often fall off. Don't worry if you do it. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong at all. And you can start again.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I mean, especially if you've got it in pencil as well. I mean, I start with pen, so I can't change anything. So.
Okay. Right. Now, we have the main nim shape. So what we're going to do now, so just to practice, up in the corner of your page, just draw like basically a sausage cloud like that, okay? That's his tail's kind of fallen off. So what we're going to do, I want you all to close your eyes. Now, grown-ups with you, if you want to either film or take a photo of your lovely artist doing this, and we can prove that you closed your eyes. And then what you're going to do, a bit like pin the tail on the donkey, is we're going to just draw the tail without looking. So I'm going to do the same. I've got my eyes closed now, and I've taken my hand away. I promise you, I'm not looking. So I'm going onto my page. I'm going to draw my tail. Done. Oh my goodness, that did not end well. And
oh wow, wow. Neither did mine. Mine ended up there. It looks like wings.
There we go. That is interesting. So well, you know, it's nim. So it doesn't matter if your tail didn't end up in the right place. Please do send us your pictures on social media as well. So I'm so sorry that I had it on my tiny screen for ages there. Thank you so much, whoever remembered to tell me off for that. I'm going to now turn my camera off so that I can come back and see you.
I don't have a part 2 to my Nickinator story, I'm afraid. So, there you are.
Hey,
hey.
A little bit blurry. There we go. The joys of online. There we go. So, right, what we're going to do now is I think I'm going to get straight to designing the character. So I did have another little thing, but I will share it another day for you. So sorry, I'm a little bit buzzed right now, but you just have to imagine it's a bit misty here.
It's the Wi-Fi in the Weatherlands. It's very, very
exactly, weird. Exactly. Has anyone got a pun for Wi-Fi, Weatherland Wi-Fi? So what we're going to do, we're going to be creating a character, and I need your help. So I'm going to use, actually, I've got this amazing device here, which you spin it and it will land on a different kind of weather, and that's going to determine what weather our character is going to have. So are you ready? I'm going to spin right now on the screen. Oh,
Thunder. Ooh.
thunder and lightning. Does that mean we've got two characters, maybe? Making my life easier. And now I have two pouches. So, guys, we've got thunder and lightning siblings, basically. Are they going to be brother and sister, or are they going to be sister and sister, brother and brother? Let's find out with the names. So I've got general names in here, but I need you guys to come up with a kind of thundery, lightning kind of surname for them. Okay.
Ooh.
So let's see. Let's get one of their names out, and we can start from there. Okay, so this is obviously meant to be because my lovely granddad, who's in the Weatherlands up in the sky, was in fact called John, and that has come out the pouch. I think that's meant to be. So,
It is.
my wonderful, wonderful granddad. Okay, so one of them's called John. Is John going to be our thunder Weatherling, or is he going to be our lightning Weatherling, guys?
Well, we have quite a few surnames now. We have McStorm, Spark, Bolt, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. That's
like
a long
Spark.
last name.
I
Yeah,
like
Spark's
Spark.
a good one.
What could John's second? Is John going to be the lightning or the thunder? What do we reckon?
Oh, lightning or thunder. How about lightning? Because he brightens up everything.
Oh, I love that. Let's have John Spark then, and
John Spark.
his sister or brother. Let's find out.
We had twin sisters. So I mean, is John Spark a twin sister? Wow.
Could be.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Okay. Oh, we have Polly. I feel like.
Oh.
Yeah, John and Polly. Okay, we need a thunderous surname for Polly.
Oh, thunderous. We have Polly Bolt. We have Polly Pop.
Polly... Oh, I love it. I like Pop. I'm going for Pop. So we've got John Spark and Polly Pop.
Oh, I love that.
I love it. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got that. So I need to know a little bit more about what they are like. So I've got some kind of personality traits. I'm going to just pick one out for now for each of them, but tell me a little bit more about John Spark and Polly Pop. So what do they do? What are they like? What's their job? We have Slap and Streak, who are bakers in the world. So I've got hardworking as one. I've got angry for another, and wise for another. So let's just think about all those things. I think maybe John would be maybe the wise. Maybe he's wise and hardworking, and Polly is angry. And I have got another one, and anxious. So that's quite a cool pair. Quite contrast each other.
It is, and people are saying John is an electrician.
Oh, yes, that's perfect. Yes. Excellent.
Amazing, Tracy. Peacekeepers, could we have them as? I mean, I guess if one of them's angry and anxious, I mean, will they really be keeping the peace?
Yeah. Okay. Whilst you read, I'm going to swap my camera again. I should have just left it there.
Of course. Oh, I love this one. Librarians. I do need some helpers. Unfortunately, I can't really pay them, so it would have to be free labor. Fossil hunters. Oh, can you imagine all of the fossils they could uncover in the Weatherlands? Ooh. Polly could be a singer. Ooh.
Right, I'm going to see. This here is my massive pile of books.
Wow.
That I used to create Rainbow Grey Book 1. So I could build a house out of these. There's Douglas Dog. So I'm going to lean on this so you can see it a little bit clearer. I hope that's okay. It may go in and out of focus and sometimes go a bit fuzzy. Do bear with me. I'm very sorry. I have just the right tech for this kind of thing. Okay, so here we go. Let's get the angle right. Oh my gosh, can't work this out. There we go. Okay, right. And I seem to have buried my pencil underneath all of that. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to just draw a rough, it's going in and out of focus, sorry. Do you know what I'm going to do actually? I'm going to turn the page around and I'm just going to draw the characters for us. So we had, what did we decide on? John Spark and Polly Pop. John Spark, the electrician, and Polly Pop.
Well, there was some archaeologist. There is famous actors. Oh, a singer. Polly the security guard. Environmentalist, angry and anxious about climate change.
Oh, yes, they would be, yeah. So I can see lots of bakers, teachers.
Bakers, yeah. There was also librarian assistants.
Oh, yes, yes.
For me.
Love it. Well, I'm going to start drawing John. So I imagine he is pretty cool electrician. He's going to have a kind of cool look to him.
Ah.
So I'm going to do more of a character design. I hope that's okay, guys, rather than a book cover. I'm going to give him little half moon glasses simply because my granddad, John, always had a little pair of half moon glasses that I loved. There we go. And then I imagine to have this really cool, like kind of almost lightning style hairdo, like so. So perhaps he's got like an ever-changing colourful streak of lightning in his hair, I imagine. That would be quite cool.
This is why you are the one with the imagination. That would not have come across my mind. Here
we go. I think a lot of my viewers here have an amazing light bulb maker. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it a bit more specific. I'm going to have him as a light bulb maker. So yeah, he can go around zip, zip, fixing all of the light bulbs, which is definitely something he would do. So I imagine him to kind of have his quite spiky lightning style boiler suit. So maybe he's got a JS kind of badge here. And
almost like mine.
Exactly. I was inspired by yours, Gav. There we are. And he can have his kind of utility belt of bits and pieces. Obviously, he's got his lightning sticks, all thunder and lightning, weather relations. They have a lightning stick and a thunder drum to channel their weather magic. Here we go. And then I tell you what we can have here is he can be holding, or maybe he channels his magic through light bulbs. So they have a kind of, yeah. So lightning bulbs even, there we go. And guys, you can go away and create stories for these characters as well and develop your own versions. I think you do a much better job because obviously I'm very strapped for time. We're going to go a little bit over, but I hope you don't mind. I hope you're having fun. Here we go.
I know I am. Yes. I love seeing new characters getting created.
Well, he is being created. Here he goes. The pouch of
Scarlett says John looks so cute.
Oh, I think John would be such a cute soul. And I reckon people think, oh gosh, he's going to be quite sharp and spiky, like lightning, but he's just a big softie, really. So here we go. We've got good old John. And now we're going to do sister. So John, he's wise and hardworking. You kind of get that idea. Polly Pop, she's going to be anxious and angry. So I'll create her a bit more hunched over. So let's have her as, sorry, what did we agree on? Gav, pick one. What's she going to be?
She is going to be a climate change person. I don't know what they're called.
So I guess she's going to be quite, she's angry and she's anxious, but she is passionate. So I'm going to have her here. So do you know what? I'm going to give her, for some reason, I want to give her like a big plait and a cool fringe. I love drawing big fringes, but she's not going to be angry at anyone in particular, just the state of the world, I guess. And she wants to help.
Exactly. She's so much passion for change.
Yes, a bit like brilliant Greta,
Yes.
Here we go. Which is quite apt because I think Greta has plaits, doesn't she? So I'm going to give her a smile, make her approachable. I think that's very important to make your characters approachable. And I'm going to have books from a certain somebody's library. So maybe she's younger sister and she goes to Sky Academy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give her a thunder drum on her head as a hat that she wears. So she wears like it as a hat and then like the drum piece behind. So when she creates thunder, she just goes donk on her thunder drum hat, and that creates the mighty rumbles of thunder. And then I'm just going to give her some cool stripy shorts and loads more books in her hands. So again, it's just a really quick idea of what you can make a character look like, but it's a starting point, isn't it? And then you go ahead and you kind of develop them even further. So we'll do some kind of like almost motion lines to show that she's so she looks quite small, but she can create the mightiest rumbles, which is, you know, really apt for kind of her passion for climate change. She's small, but she can make a difference. So here we've got the adventures of John, Spark, and Polly Pop. I would love to see your versions of these characters, or maybe perhaps you can create your own story based around these characters. I would love to see that. So yes, I hope that stayed in focus okay for you. So sorry about the kind of techie stuff here, but what I'm going to do, I'll post this online after. I'm going to close off and come face to face with you now, because I think we are going to have to round up with the Q&A in a second, because I've run out of time. I was going to give you some lost intros to some stories. I tell you what, I'll give you a couple of sentences, okay? I've got time for that. I'm gonna steal you for a little bit longer. So basically, when I was writing the book, I have over 100 different drafts of the story. So for example, chapter 1 started like this. It was the middle of summer. Yesterday the temperature was -5 with hailstones and just one blizzard. Today was a pleasant 25 degrees. The sun was shining brightly and it was only snowing a little bit. Ray Gray poked around at her bowl of cold turnip porridge. Ray, do you think we'll ever get abducted by aliens? Asked Klaus Gray. And that was the start of that one. Very different, very weird. This one I think you'll like, Gav. Chapter 1. It all started when I passed wind. Wait, ew, no, not like that. It's not what you think, because I know what you're thinking. I didn't pass wind in that way. I passed wind out of my hands. Okay, that sounds much worse. I should probably start from the beginning. And that was it.
Yeah, that's my favorite so far.
And then I'll give you one more. It was precisely 8:31 a.m. when strange things started to happen in Madame Lucille's home for orphans. And then it starts with, aliens, said Klaus Gray, scribbling frantically in his notebook of alien antics. So there you go. Top secret. No one has heard these apart from my wonderful editors who have read every single rendition of Rainbow Grey I have sent them. I thank you so much for your patience. But I'm going to hand over to you, Gav, for any questions that people have.
Yes, there are quite a few good ones. I'll try and pick out the best ones, but one that I don't think you've been asked, or at least I don't know the answer to myself, is from Zara. And she said, why is Rainbow surnamed Grey when she is so colourful? That's pretty interesting one.
That's fantastic. Sorry, was that from Zara?
Zara, yeah.
Zara, hi Zara, thank you. Yes, so that was a purposeful decision, and I was trying to think of good surnames for her, and I thought because a rainbow is associated with colours, it would be really cool to have a name that was the complete opposite of that. So Grey, and the fact that her Grey is, you know, it is a surname, and her whole family on her, I guess, mum or dad's side, they're all the Greys. So yes, she grew up as Ray Gray, but then it just so happens that her family is actually the lost descendants of the rainbow weatherlings. So it was a conscious decision, and yeah, it's a bit of a play on words, just because, you know, rainbows are so colourful and grey is the complete opposite.
Yes, amazing. Liddy asked, will you make an animation out of Amelia Fang or any future books, or like Rainbow Grey?
I would love to, if I had the skills to do that. That is the job of the amazing kind of film creators and animators out there. And I really hope that I would love for someone to pick up Amelia Fang or Rainbow Grey. And my dream is to see my work in moving picture. That has always been something I would love to see one day. So just everyone cross your fingers that maybe that will happen one day, please.
Well, I think it will. If I have anything to say about it as the librarian of this, you know, the Lower Sky Library. So from Phoebe, aged 8, have you already started the new Ray Gray book? And I believe you might have.
I have, yes. I have started writing book 2, and there is a big fat mystery, and Ray has got a lot of big challenges ahead, and there are quite a few new characters who I think you'll enjoy, hopefully, as well.
Ooh, so Millie and Alice both aged, well, Alice is age 7, I'm not sure Millie's age, but they're asking, who was your favorite character in Rainbow Grey?
I think it has to be Droplet Jewels, because she's so sneaky and mischievous, and I think because I love characters that are a little bit naughty. That's why I love writing villains. You know, it's because I was good in school, and now it's my kind of like, I can get out my naughty side through my characters. But no, she's great. She's really feisty, and I love the fact that she can, you know, puddle port anywhere she likes. But yeah, Droplet, I think, is my favorite.
I think we have time for maybe one more question, and this is from Tracy. This is a bit of a what if question. So if you chose to write Rainbow Grey first instead of Amelia Fang, would you have written the Amelia Fang series, do you think?
I think I would have got around to a series in that kind of style, because I am obsessed with autumn, Halloween, and kind of that kind of almost Nightmare Before Christmas feel. So I think I definitely needed to scratch that itch, and so if I didn't get to it first, I would have got to it eventually. And I think there's a lot of itches that I have, but that was the biggest one. And so the kind of the second one was a book involving magic in some way, which I found definitely way more of a challenge. But I'm so glad I think I've done something okay. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun building this new world and kind of spending time with the new characters, and I think they would get on well, Amelia and Ray.
I think so too. We need a crossover at some point, I think.
Oh gosh, yeah. So, but yeah, that was amazing. I just want to, first of all, before anything else, say the biggest thank you to the most amazing Gusty Gav. I was so excited when Gav agreed to be the wonderful host for this event, and I think you'll all agree that he has been incredible, and that costume is just the best. So guys, one day there will be the musical. It will happen. But yeah, thank you so much, Gusty Gav and Gav, for just being absolutely wonderful and hosting today's event. You've been amazing.
It was an honest pleasure to be able to do this with my creator. Honestly, it was a fantastic, fun, amazing event. I think a lot of people learned a lot from this. And if anybody does have any further questions, I am sure Laura will be more than happy to answer them. You can follow her on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm sure she can answer anything that you would like. So don't forget, Rainbow Grey is out today. So make sure that you guys go and get it. And we will see you in the future, hopefully.
And a huge thank you to Waterstones for having us.
Yes.